Hello, my name is Niall O'Rourke and I'm the Head of Humanitarian Affairs at ACT Alliance. I'm going to speak about three distinct points. The first one is about the current state of the humanitarian system, where we're seeing a significant funding deficit within the system, and some of the changes that are underway that have maybe commenced in 2024 that we're seeing carrying into 2025. For some years now, localization and locally led response have been core areas of our work in the humanitarian program. And in many ways, the humanitarian system is becoming much more focused and locally led. And this is a trend or a reform that is underway that is going to, I think in terms of change, we're going to see a lot more change and a lot more resources being directed to local actors within the system. ACT members are very well placed in that regard. We have the Rapid Response Fund already established, a pool fund. We're going to see more pool funds in use and increased funding flows to pool funds in the coming years. And we are very much hoping to be able to scale up our Rapid Response Fund in the coming months and years. That fund allows ACT national members to respond to humanitarian crises in the context in which they operate, very much making the decisions, leading the response, and ensuring that the communities that are affected by disasters receive timely, high quality support and assistance when they most need it. I guess there's a trend in the system now whereby mutual aid, community-led initiatives are all going to become much more important and central to ways of working within the humanitarian system. ACT members have for some time now been in a very innovative space in relation to this work. We've seen survivor and community-led response being used as an approach to programming, and this approach really focuses on the existing capabilities within communities and the knowledge within communities to find solutions, humanitarian crises or disasters. And this is an approach that's been used at scale in places like Ukraine, but also in other parts of the world, other contexts of humanitarian crises. And it is definitely one which we see as being increasingly important, increasingly relevant, and also very much something that can be scaled up within ACT Alliance. Those community level initiatives, which I referred to, are very much built on community resilience, and you may have heard about triple nexus programming. Many of the disasters that are seen across the world are related to conflict, related to obviously climate and other major drivers of humanitarian needs. And a nexus approach to programming is very much considering the holistic needs of a community over the longer term. So over protracted periods where longer term solutions, durable solutions are of paramount importance to stop the cycle of humanitarian needs growing, being addressed and then re-emerging. And many of our members are also involved in this area of work of nexus programming, and we see this as also being increasingly important at the end of 2024 as we move forward. So from the programmatic perspective in 2024, we saw 17 activations of the Rapid Response Fund across the world, and we saw active appeals in diverse contexts, including Gaza, including Sudan, in collaboration with Caritas and CAFOD and NCA working collaboratively in Sudan, in what was one of the or the largest humanitarian crises in 2024. And we also saw an appeal being launched in Central Africa, in Eastern DRC, with refugees also moving into Uganda. And again, a sub-regional appeal there by ACT members responding to that humanitarian crisis. So again, 2024 was very much a series of major humanitarian crises, growing needs, and then the challenges that we've seen of funding remain very much center stage. But some of the innovative and locally led initiatives, our Rapid Response Fund, and then the approaches that are being used by our members in both Nexus programming and innovative locally led type programming are, I guess, something that we can be proud of from 2024, and also something that we see increasingly being scaled up and used in 2025 and onwards. Thank you for your support.